Hey guys, how are you? It's a Sunday, and it's another Sunday, man. The week went by again, another week. So hopefully everybody's doing okay. Um, I am. I'm got my coffee. I'm good. So Clint here says he'll probably be on to. He wants to talk about some Stargrave and what he wants to do with that, and a few other things he's got brewing. So we'll just kind of wait and see for him to show up. Let's see here. I've got to bear with me. It's not going to the Facebook this time. So um, there's Keegan. Hello, Keegan. How are you, sir? Um, I don't know why it wouldn't show it. When I went to do the introduction, the screen went black. So I don't know. My introduction's there, but I don't know if it showed. So sorry about that, you guys. Hopefully it shows the next time, but I know it's not going to Facebook this time, and I know it's not doing that because I go to get on, and hey, it wants me to reconnect. Well, hello, Colette. How are you? All right, Colette's here. Keegan's here. So people are starting to show up. Am I working on anything at the moment? No, Colette. I'm not. I am just working on the show. I don't. Pretty much my projects are done. I have to put together the rest of these WooFund minis, which are pretty detailed, pretty highly detailed. So I will work at getting those put on and see what we can do on that there. That's just something I haven't had a chance to do yet, so I will. But otherwise, the rest of the miniatures are pretty much painted up and ready to go, and just been kind of hanging out like everybody else. I don't know why this doesn't show you guys. It does not show anybody in the chat, but you guys are in the chat. I don't know. I'm not sure what this thing is doing. I'll be darned. Oh, well, I mean, most of the time it works, so I guess I can't complain. Are you working on anything there, Keegan or Colette? You guys checking anything out? Nope, you're not sure? Is it not showing the stream, you guys? It should. I mean, I have. Okay. Well, hopefully it's working. It's not showing anything, Keegan, on how many people are here. So it's not. I have no idea how many people are actually watching. Usually there's people watching. All right. So, yeah, it says no viewers, but there's viewers. So I don't understand. You guys are commenting. So I don't know. So let me check that. And Keegan, you said you have Farming Simulator that you're doing. You're updating that now. Is that what you're doing with that? Man, this isn't cool. This isn't cool. Let's see here. I'm looking on my phone and see what it shows me there. It does show me live there on YouTube there. It shows no viewers. You're right. I don't understand that. Yet you guys are there talking. I don't know. Well, I'm glad you could see the chat and the video there. I mean, that's good. I'm glad about that. I'll have to take a look and see what it is they've got. I don't know. Well, now it's showing one viewer. That's weird. Okay, then. Well, I know there's more than one person because there's several of you chatting. So yeah. All right then. So we'll just go forward. Clint said he was going to come on and talk about Stargrave and a little bit about that. He said he'd be on. And Keegan, you said you were going to get on. And yeah, I'm not sure there. I really don't. I really don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess that's just technology. What can I say? Oh, Clint needs a link. Okay. Keegan, Colette's asking about the farming thing. Can you explain that in the chat somewhat? And hold on, Clint, just a moment there. You're going to need it sent to your email, so give me a moment there. All right, Clint. There's your link. All right, sir. It's emailed there for you. So you're good to go. I don't know what you're talking about there, Keegan. No, Colette, it's not a tabletop game. It's a video game. It's Farming Simulator. So it's just a video game. Yep. Like I said, Clint should be coming on and it's just not showing anymore. I don't know. I sent him the link though, so he should be able to hop on here pretty soon and say hi. There you go. So he's letting you know what it's like there. And basically, you're just running a farm, Colette. That's all you're doing. It's running a farm. Yep. So it's that's it. I mean, set the farm up, grow your crops, sell your stuff, buy your equipment, keep going. That's what Farming Simulator is everything you do on a farm, just on a video game. So that's it there. Hopefully, let's see, a couple more people I figured might have been here, so we'll see how that goes. There's Clint.
Yep. Sorry.
Hey, Clint.
Had to use the restroom first real quick.
No, that's okay.
I did want to talk about Stargrave for sure.
Yeah. Well, hello, Mel. Mel is here. How are you, Mel?
There we go.
In her new channel, Dark Corner Films. Sounds like something us customer service people would be into.
Sure. Customer service? Oh, that's right. You're supposed to be nice to customers. Huh.
Oh, yeah. Something
they
to
were
that
nice
effect.
to us.
Sure. It's not even showing correctly. I have no idea. So if you're listening to the chat, this is not calculating right. It's not letting me really see who's out there. So type in there, say hello. That way I'll know you're there because it's just not. Something's not working right, Clinton. It wouldn't let me send it to Facebook either because you have to reauthorize it.
I don't know.
No, I'm like, well, I'm starting a show. I'll have to reauthorize it when I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, true.
It takes too long. Yeah. Wow, you guys are really having a pretty good little chat there. So yeah, you don't have to be super skilled, Colette, to play a lot of these games. You're okay. Clint, you wanted to talk about Stargrave or what it is?
Yeah, I figured we'd chat about Star Wars since we're doing a little more with it, and it's pretty straightforward and simple, and it's still relatively new. Plus, the new expansion that they announced is going to be even cooler. Um, I mean, I know I'm going to cover a lot of this on the podcast you haven't uploaded yet, but that's okay. We can still just kind of discuss. Um,
Well,
I
no, that
wanted
just
to,
means people will tune into the podcast. Yeah.
yeah, true. So I'm not going to go into great detail on it because the podcast does more of that. But yeah, I wanted us to get a sci-fi skirmish game where we could just kind of use what we have and just have a basic rule system. Brian keeps talking about all the basic rule systems with his weird World War II stuff. So I thought, well, you know what? Maybe we'll find something sci-fi that we can just use. And I had seen a couple times for Frostgrave, which is basically the fantasy version of it, and people were really liking that. And then they mentioned Stargrave, so I looked into it and bought the book off Amazon real quick because it was like $30. It wasn't very expensive. Um, but yeah, it's skirmish, so it's similar to Kill Team, but you create your crew in a different way. There's a storytelling aspect to it, even though you're still using the miniatures and you're still kind of fighting it out. You're not really player versus player. It's kind of almost player versus NPC.
Oh,
And
okay.
the objective is actually more so to get the stuff off the table, so grab the loot and get off, than it is just wipe out the other person. And terrain is
Oh, okay.
super encouraged. I mean, they want you to bury the table in terrain. Like, it literally says in the book, don't hesitate to bury the table in terrain. But I mean, the rule system itself is just simple. I mean, it's not stupid simple, but it's simple. And it takes, even like terrain into consideration, where it's super easy to use and deal with the terrain. But there's still a storytelling element. There's an ongoing campaign element to it. The new expansion they announced has even got more storytelling and ongoing campaign. So your crew can, or at least your captain and your first mate of your crew can actually earn non-player character Colette.
So it's a
So
fictional
an
character. It's not.
AI in this case.
Yeah. So if there's four of you around the table, this would be the fifth, like invisible person. It would not
Yeah.
be somebody that's at the table, but part of the game. So that's what
Yeah.
that is.
This is cool because you have your characters phase, your combat phase, but then you have the NPCs phase, which they call the creature phase. So it's some random element of the game that actually activates, depending on what the chart says to do, that goes against both players each turn.
Well, that adds a different element to the
Oh
game
yeah,
because it isn't
it
just
sounds
you and the
really cool.
people. Yeah.
Plus the stuff you get from one story. So let's say you grab some loot and get off of the map, and whether you win or not, it doesn't matter. If you get loot off the table, your characters, your main characters or your crew get to use that loot, so you can use it in the next game. They definitely build experience points and level up, and you can use the stuff you find or take. It's really cool. So you're not just locked into this miniature has this gun and this miniature has this many points and that's all there is to it. No, this game is well beyond that.
Oh, okay. So just a second there. So Taylor, welcome. I see you said hi,
Yep,
and
hi Taylor.
Tyler's saying something that Brian cheated. I don't believe Brian would cheat. Possibly use a
Sure.
loophole, maybe a
Yeah, a
something to
loophole.
work around, like a
You know,
definition. Yeah,
a loophole the size of a planetary black hole, but whatever.
a big loophole. Yeah. Oh, so I think Brian's in trouble. Huh? He always
Yeah,
cheats.
well, I think Brian's always good, to be honest.
Well, yeah, tell on him. That's the best way. And yeah, Taylor says to please explain it to me. So just a moment there, Clint, because I got to hear
You're
this.
fine. Go
So,
ahead.
what is it that he's cheating on, or how? How does he do it? Does he skirt the rules? Does he say it doesn't apply because it's a different universe? I'd have to know. Um, So Colette's asking, do you level up like a new campaign? So in Stargrave, are you going to level up?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if she was referring to Stargrave or not. So leveling up means you actually enhance your character's stats. But it's just your captain and your first mate.
Ah, okay.
Because you actually generate those like a character.
All right, Mel. I see what he's doing then. He uses rules. He doesn't tell you all the rules. And then all of a sudden,
Okay.
This is a rule. Okay. We understand. We got you. I got you. And yes, Taylor, we are talking Stargrave. Yes. That is what Clint is talking about. We're just interrupting Clint. Sorry, Clint. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
So then, I mean, you have to have loot on the table, try to get the loot off.
Yeah, so you've got, so like we were doing with Kill Team, where you've got all the maps and you might have an objective token, for example. You're going to have a main objective, which is always placed in the middle of the table. Then there's 4 other pieces of loot set around the table in various locations. And 2 of them are data loots and 2 of them are physical loots in Stargrave. The data loot actually give you enhanced options for your crew and whatnot later. Real quick, because I see Colette's chat. There are 2 main characters. There's a captain and there's a first mate, but you have up to 10 figures in your crew. The rest are just considered crew, mostly soldiers, but there are some specialists who do certain things. Yeah, Keegan.
So you need at least the 2.
You have to have at least the 2 because those gain experience points, those level up. But loot can be shared through the crew. Keegan is pointing out Rocket Raccoon because his actual first mate is going to be Rocket. And he set him up as a rogue character, so basically a thief. Your captain and your first mate actually have things called powers, special abilities they can do. Keegan's crew has some really cool. So Keegan can just take the loot that you've just stolen and yoink it from you and yeet it over to somebody else.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. But depends on the character then, yeah.
Yeah, his interesting is that he is all about loot collection at this point. So really you don't shoot it up. You don't shoot it up with the other person. You can shoot up with the other person, but a lot of times if you're shooting at the other person, it's because they snag some loot and you're trying to stop them from getting off the board. Yeah, 10 that you play, you have up to 10 crew, but you have to have a captain and a first mate, and each one of them is allowed 4 crew, up to 4 crew on each team. The interesting thing with the way the game plays, there's a captain's phase and a first mate's phase. The captain is allowed to act along with up to 3 crew members, not 4. Then the first mate can act in the first mate phase. Yeah, Taylor, I think it is kind of similar to Pulp Alley. I think you're right there. But then up to 3 on the first mate's phase. Then any leftover characters activate in the soldier phase. So it's kind of an interesting. It's kind of interesting like that. Yes, the powers are listed in the book, but you can write them on a card. But yeah, powers are for something simple like I said. Keegan can actually yeet the loot that an enemy character or his own character took and just fling it 6 inches on the map to someone else. He can, Dee has the ability to actually resurrect one of the dead characters and use them as a zombie temporarily for her own means.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the powers are incredible, and you get 5 powers for your captain and 4 powers for your first mate, and as you level up, you get additional powers.
So you can, as you level up, you're creating your character to do more. You can expand it. Okay.
Yeah, you can do a lot with the first mate, and if the captain dies in gameplay, the first mate becomes the captain.
Oh, okay.
But you carry all this stuff over for each scenario. So you finish a campaign, everybody gets off the map, you got your loot, you find out what your loot is, you get your experience points, you move to the next scenario. Let's say you got a really unique alien weapon in that loot. Guess what? Your first mate's now using it in the next scenario. Oh, also, damaged characters carry over into the other scenarios. So you might have to roll to try to heal someone. You may have to spend some of your money to replace a dead crew member. little things like that. The game is designed around campaign play. The goal is like five or six scenarios that you work through or play through and build your characters up. The reason I said in the beginning about the expansion is the new expansion that they're working on is going to be even more story driven. Plus, it's non-linear, which means there's going to be, from what I think, 8 scenarios, but they don't have to be played in an order. You can kind of jump them around out of order and still have a great adventure with it. Plus, there's like the data loot and stuff. Some of the loot is just worth money. Some of the other loot is like alien tech or really high end weapons or whatever. So you can do a lot. The nice thing is just you can use whatever characters you want, whatever miniatures you want. Doesn't matter. Dee's using some of the War Machine miniatures, so some fantasy for her group. So she is kind of basing her characters on melee combat versus ranged. But her first mate is huge. I mean, it's like a big character.
Okay, hold on, Clint. So
Sure.
Taylor said Osprey Games, he might have stuff with
Yep.
it. And okay, so I didn't know that. And then Colette's saying that, yeah, the chat and the video is a little bit delayed on YouTube, but it's going to be like approximately like 30 seconds behind, give or take. So the live chat is on our end is as soon as you guys type it. But yeah, there's a delay from sending it from here to YouTube and then to you guys. So it does. Still on my phone, looking down on it, doesn't show. It shows us all the chat on YouTube, but it doesn't show anybody there. It shows like 0 people.
Yeah.
Yes, you can use your Games Workshop stuff.
Yeah. You can use the GW stuff. Going back to the Osprey, there is some free downloads, including the solo rules to play, so you can solo play the crew. Kind of a way to cheat to really level up your crew if you really think about it. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming from it. Yeah, it is very much based off of Frostgrave, which is just a fantasy element. I might actually, as much as I don't generally like fantasy miniature games, I might actually look into Frostgrave. It does seem very interesting, and there's a lot of scenario stuff for Frostgrave.
Huh. Well, there you go. I mean, it sounds like it's worthwhile to get into if you've already got figures around and you can just pick them up and play. But you said that they have their own line of miniatures too, don't they?
They do have some miniatures. I showed you the pictures earlier of the sprues and stuff. My little tech guy that's up on Facebook is one of their sprues. I just kind of combined him. But I did buy some Reaper stuff because I like some of their sci-fi guys. I ordered my first mate off Etsy because someone did a custom miniature off Etsy, and it looks awesome, so I'm going to use her. But yeah, Keegan's going to use Rocket Raccoon from, I think it was, Crisis Protocol or whatever. You're going to use a miniature for Rocket for that.
And you ordered one, too, offline. You had that.
That's the one I got off Etsy. That's the first mate. Yep. Yeah, so I did buy some of their Rogue robots. I just thought they were really cool. So I got those as well, and that's going to be part of my crew. Because you're allowed to have robots, they just can't be any of the main characters.
Oh, okay. So overall, then, I mean, it looks like it's worth.
It's a minimal investment. You're spending $30 for a rule book. You're generally using miniatures you already have. You're using terrain you already have. It's 28 millimeter sci-fi. Really, there's no reason why you couldn't throw this down real simple. It took me like an hour to read the entire rule book through, and then we focused on character creation, but gameplay itself is stupid simple. I really enjoyed the rules. Yeah.
That's the best part. I tire of long, drawn-out, complicated. I mean, sometimes you just don't want that. Like, just want a game.
Yeah, and really, like you said, it's not just, you and me just duke it out till everyone's dead. In fact, they suggest you don't do that because that hurts you. One, you literally have to pay to replace those crew members that die. Unless you happen to be able to heal them or something with your ship. If you don't get the loot off the table, you don't get the experience points, you don't get the benefit from the loot. And the loot is interesting. They have loot charts. So when you're done, when you finish the game, then you roll on the loot charts to see what your loot actually is. Also, to capture the loot, you actually have to move your figure off the board. And so that figure's gone once it's off the board.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Taylor,
exactly,
I mean,
Taylor. That was my plan, to start 3D printing stuff, characters, terrain. I mean, I'm going to use a lot of GW terrain, but yeah, you could 3D print so much, and it just, I mean, I probably will have 5 or 6 crews for this game. I think this is something that you and I, or that, well, Greg and Keegan and Dee and all of us can do throughout the winter and just run campaigns. We can make up our own, or we can use the provided ones, and we can just easily play. I mean, it's about half hour per game because you're not trying to kill each other. So really, it's grab the stuff and go. You can climb the terrain. I mean, there's rules for covering all the terrain, mostly just climbing over it or up it. With Keegan's yeet ability, he can yeet characters up onto terrain or off of terrain. Oh yeah, that hurts if someone yeets you off a piece of terrain and you fall 5 stories. You will feel
that's
it.
not gonna be good.
I think it's a D6 per story. It can kill your character. It's also bad if you're a sniper on a roof and somebody yeets you off the roof.
Yeah, that wouldn't be so good, huh? Here you are in a position thinking you got it, and boom.
Yep.
Colette asks, aren't 3D printers
No, Colette,
outrageous?
they are really not.
Not anymore.
My resin 3D printer was $450. It is not bad at all. They're getting to be a lot more reasonable. And resin, I'm sorry, I'm going to be biased here. Resin is the way to go if you're going to do gaming stuff. It is so much easier to work with,
Yeah,
and
it
the
really
detail
is.
that's great. The detail is incredible. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a resin printed house that we're using for Flames of War. I mean, this was a free file. I can't sell it because it's somebody else's file, but yeah, I mean, it was free. I added the roof because I wanted it to be a little more modern, but I mean, this thing took like, I don't know, 3 hours to print and it was done. So yeah, I need to check 5 parsecs from home. I really do. I agree, Mini Warmut. That's one I really should be looking into.
Welcome, Mini Warmut. We're glad you're here. Mini Warmut. Yeah, we'll have to. We're gonna have to. The problem is there's almost too much to check out anymore. It's like,
Yeah,
there's so much to do. I don't just don't have the time to do it all.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But I agree with you, Clint. The resin prints that you've done far
Yeah.
outweigh the other normal, printing.
Yeah, I'd like to start drifting away from 40K a bit. Not that I hate 40K or want to do anything.
Yeah,
I just
do
don't
something.
invest in it. I've got too many wrapped up in my RCs at this point. I don't want to invest in 40K anymore. I don't have to. I'll totally use their terrain, though. Thank you, Colette.
Colette says it's a beautiful house. Mini Warmut, yeah, if you want, I can send you a link there or put it in the chat if you want to hop on. You can show the book, sure. That's what we're here for. Just chit-chatting about gaming, so.
Wait, Greg, are we having a live gaming chat about gaming and not just general stuff? Did I miss something? Or it's daylight savings time. That's right. It throws everybody off. So we're actually doing something we're supposed to this time. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because some of us who are pampered aren't at a campground doing a live feed.
Really?
But, yeah,
is that?
Okay. I don't
That's
know.
not me, because they're all closed. And I have winterized the camper for the year.
Have you?
Yeah. I got all the antifreeze done, and that new cover, I tell you, that new cover for the air conditioner I got is fitted and insulated. It's really nice, especially for a $20 cover. So now we're drifting, of course.
Well, here you go. He said, "Link me up, Scotty." So here it is. I'll put it in the chat there, man.
Yeah, I would kind of see how. I'd like to see how 5 parsecs compares for sure.
Yeah, because that's something we're not familiar with there, but
well, I mean, I've heard of it, but I haven't had a chance to really research it. And I kept seeing stuff on Facebook about people making custom Stargrave terrain. I'm like, what is this? I want to know more, because some of the terrain they're making is super cool.
Yeah. Aha! Here we go. There he is.
Sure.
There I am. Can you hear me?
You're there.
Yeah. You're good.
Okay, so
Pretty cool.
I gotta kind of speak directly into this
Oh,
like that.
Do you? That's kind of why I have my mic just like outward. Get to it. So that's the book.
Yes, I have not played a game yet because Stargrave is the same thing. This just goes in this 5 parsecs, really, really deep. If it's they call it adventure wargaming. So you're playing D&D and miniature wargaming.
Oh, interesting.
This has tons of tables. If you love dice rolling, you're going to be dice rolling for your characters and all that stuff in this game. Like right off the bat, I mean, I could read the back of this real quick. And
Sure,
it costs the same amount. It was like $30, just like the Stargrave one. But here, I'll show you this. You have 1 through 100 tables. And you're going to be rolling D100, 100s to all this stuff. Just tables galore in this and all this. Like the back says, it's a fast-moving system built for solo gaming. It is, but you can actually have 2 other players. So maximum 3 is about all you can have to play this. Create a wide range of characters, human, alien, robot, blah, blah, blah. Generate a huge area of possible missions with more than 50 enemy types. After each battle, check for injuries. Your crew members, sometimes you'll be rolling at the end of the game. And if they get injured or whatever, they could end up, this is for campaign. They can end up in the hospital for like 2 campaigns before they could come back out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's stuff like that. And level up, find new gear, or upgrade your starship. That's the other thing. You're going to have a starship, and you don't use your starship in the game. It's just there to help you travel from one planet to the next planet.
Yep. Yeah,
also, you got to be careful when you're rolling to go to another planet. You got to make sure there's no invasions going on. If that planet's invaded, then your whole campaign is going to take a sidetrack because you're dealing with an invasion from some other crew or whatever going on. It's pretty neat. You have your patrons. They're the ones that give you quests so you could get to go out and do your little miniature wargaming. You got to set up your table, blah, 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 and all that. And if you win, then you come back, and that patron will reward you some skills, which you have to roll on the table and all that. Also, you got your spaceship. You are paying for that spaceship. Credits is what they call it.
Yeah.
So say your spaceship, you owe 25 credits on your spaceship. Well, you got to pay that off to who's ever lending you that spaceship. And that spaceship could get damaged and all that stuff, and you're going to have to pay to fix the damages on that spaceship. Sometimes you'll lose your spaceship in an invasion because they'll get blown to shreds, and then you crash landing or something, stuff like that. Random tables for towns, trade, jobs, character events, and starship travel. There's 5 difficulty settings in this. You got your 7-stage narrative introductory campaign, but it's this book. You're going to have to get this, Clint, because
I might have to pick that up. I think you're right.
Yeah. How you got to roll the you're ready for your battle. So your character creations. Here's your world steps, your new world arrivals. You have story points in this thing. There's your starships, which I ended up with a lousy freighter. I don't have a starship or anything. It's a freighter, so it's a piece of junk when I rolled for that one. You're gonna be doing a lot of pen to paper stuff on this too. Same with your weapons gear and all. But yeah, when I was listening, I just popped in. You guys were talking about Stargrave. I'm like, oh crap, Clint, you're gonna fall.
You're right. I'm gonna have to look into that for sure.
You're gonna fall in love with 5 parsecs.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. And I think you've mentioned it before, but I just never had a chance to look at it.
It finally hit the States, and we can now get it. So Europe's already had this book for 3 or 4 months.
Jeez.
But now it finally opened up at Miniature Market has it for like $23, and it's in stock right now. But they pay shipping.
It's a good place to shop. Miniature Market, yeah.
But they call it Adventure Wargaming.
And sorry, sidetrack. Just say you reminded me one of the things you commented about being in States. I know we've been talking about Twilight 2000, and I just got confirmation mine will be in Wednesday. My tin and all my stuff for that will be in from Kickstarter. Then there is a couple new Kickstarters running. One I did back the Red Dragon Inn board game. That's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And I am backing the new Monpok, or the Monster Apocalypse. because that has now been moved to a board game format instead of the open mat. So I think it'll be a very similar rule system, but with a more stable board. That I think is going to be worth getting back into, just because I did like it, and I think you'd like it too, Greg, because it's just monsters bashing it out through a city. But now being a board game format, then that should make it a lot easier too. So sorry to deviate real quick. I just wanted to touch base on that.
That monster, that's like what's that one video game? Rampage.
Rampage, yeah, very similar.
Yeah. So, but like at the beginning, you're going to do a background table. You have to roll for their backgrounds. Like, say you roll 8, his background is giant, overcrowded dystopian city. He gets an effect, which is a +1 to speed. The character could come from a mining colony, military brat, space station. There's so many backgrounds to pick.
Are you just running one character then with your crew, or are you running?
You could do 5 to 8, and you're rolling for each one.
Interesting.
And, yeah, it's each one, and when it comes to motivation, you could actually roll on a die on the motivation table where one of them could backstab you.
Nice.
So, it's pretty interesting, but that only happens at the end of the game.
Interesting.
Where he could bail on you and possibly lead what they call rivals, which is exactly what it means. You'll be fighting rivals for you. Gangs are going to come in and try to disrupt your campaign.
Nice.
There's certain rivals in it too.
Doors.
Yeah. Then you have your class table. You roll, and one could be a scientist, one could be a hacker, one could be a petty criminal, bounty hunter, troubleshooter, special agent. There's so many of it. And then crew equipment, and stuff. Gadget table, gear table. Then your ship. You roll for your ship, and then flavor. They call it the flavor details, which is like, say I roll out of the D100, I roll like a 20. We met through, and the 20 roll is pursuit of random group members, motivation. And then you roll your character creation example. It like brings an actual real life to your character, and like a movie.
Huh, that's cool.
And, then you roll for your terrain rule, terrain, there's just.
Yeah, I agree. Keegan will have to look into it for sure.
Yeah. Keegan sounds like he likes that.
Yeah.
He says he's liking the sounds of that. So that's immersive though, really.
Well, a lot of people do it just they do a lot of it for just like a D&D, they'll just roll new characters out of this and just play it that way. So, but it's awesome where you're going to travel to and stuff. But I'm just going all over in this thing here for you. World steps. Then you go to your battles, and you'll be rolling a 100 dice. It could be a small encounter, a brief engagement, poor visibility. This is when you get to the planet. Also, you got to roll to see if you have entry into that planet.
Nice.
You'll be paying a tax, which comes out of your credit. And if you go broke, if you lose all your credits, you lose your ship, and your crew disbands, and you pretty much start over. And so you really there's a lot of money management involved in here.
That sounds interesting. Hi, Taylor. Sorry, we've been trying to ignore you. I just let going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Taylor joined in there.
I can't see the chat. I don't know how you see chat.
It's not actually. Can you put up a screenshot there, please?
I see it.
4 of us, yeah. So,
it's a small little book, but packed.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that.
Like it's packed with a lot of stuff there, man.
About 180 pages. But you're not like you're rolling. It's all tables.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the ladies look good, Taylor.
Thank you, Taylor.
Those turned out really nice.
Did you print those up yet, Clint?
What?
That's the ones I sent you.
No, I have not. I have them. I have not printed them yet. I haven't actually turned the printer on in a while because when I got sick, I didn't do anything. I need to get those printed. I do.
Yeah, because that way
I've got some stuff I've got to run.
They come out. Yeah, it's not going to work on the printer I was trying to use. They're too small, and as it starts to print, it moves it around, so it won't.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to step off here real quick because I'm actually watching my grandson out here.
No problem. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for we're jumping on.
But
and
I'll be
showing
listening.
us-
I'm gonna
yeah.
be lurking in the chat here for you.
Lurking. Okay, that's cool. We're good with lurking.
All right.
That's
How do you-
good.
how do I-
Thanks, man.
How do I get out?
Here.
Yeah, I'll have to pick that up, and we'll have to look into that as well for sure.
There we go. Well, that sounds like it's. I mean, that's just a lot more immersive than.
It is. The only concern I have is there's tons of charts and a lot of rolling to do with that, but I'm betting that won't actually bog it down that much. So I'll look into it, but I want to focus on Stargrave for a bit just because I've got it, and yeah. Yeah, I
Well-
agree, Taylor. But I've done some 15 millimeter printing, and you know what? That's 15 millimeter. Other than roof being different, I was pretty impressed. So, and this was printed with almost no supports. So this one, it was just pretty straight up print. Now that I got the roof on it, because I was making it more modern, so it's got a little more modern roof, I can paint it. But this is actually for our Team Yankee.
That'll work though. It looks good.
Yeah.
And, Mythos, are you still there? I think Mythos likes some of that other gaming too. So
Yeah.
it's cool. Somehow he said he was sitting in the wrong lobby with it saying it was waiting to start. I wonder what happened.
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. But
There was maybe that's why you're
technology.
not seeing
Yeah.
something, because there's a second queue that doesn't have anything in it, and that's what you're seeing, Greg. I don't know. That's
Well,
weird.
no, I'm looking on my phone and it shows. Well, here I'll show you. It shows. A second here. See, it'll show us, but right there it says zero people in chat. Yet there's all that. So I don't understand how it's saying zero when everybody's talking. I don't know.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I mean, other people were going to join. I hope they didn't end up in the other chat.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, Taylor's got some prints you can get there, and Mini Wormut says he is going to lurk in the background, you guys. And then he says hello to Mythos. So yeah, thanks, Mini Wormut. Mini Wormut says 8 people watching. See, I don't know. It just shows 0. Like I literally don't know. So that's why I said if you're there in the chat, say hi. I know a few other people were we're going to try to get in, but I don't know if you're in the chat, then, thank you. That's great. But I don't necessarily know whoever's in the chat other than what's running on my screen here. And then the delay. So that is weird. That is weird. What did Taylor say? Taylor said he got somebody to print up for about $15. Well, that's cheap enough.
I don't know what I'd have to look see what my cost would be. I'm sure it'd be less than $15. I don't think even that little house only printed it like $3.
Well, yours tells you though. It tells you how much the cost is going to be for what you're doing. So it's
that helps. Yeah. Moon and Venus are lined. Yeah, that is a little cray.
Is it? Nice. That's
yeah.
Feels off today.
But it is harvest time, so that makes sense that it would be.
Harvest.
It's fall, autumn,
What's
whatever.
The harvest. Oh, I'm just joking. So Colette says that's not terrible. She never bought physical character models. Well, yeah, if you go out and you're buying the miniatures on sprues, I mean, it kind of depends on who's making them, how detailed they are, what you're going to pay for it.
Yep.
Some are not so much detailed; they're more plain kind of figures, and others are highly detailed. That makes a difference too.
Yeah.
Colette says.
Yeah. Well, we haven't painted a lot of ours either, so I understand that.
That's all right. Sometimes you can't, you can't paint them all.
I haven't painted miniatures in a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't even
My
built
painting's
miniatures.
done. I mean, it's pretty much.
Yeah, you're probably about the only one who's caught up on everything at the moment.
Yeah.
Painting wise, at least.
Well, what I need to do is put these MUFON miniatures to work. That's what I need to do. As
Yeah.
far as sitting down, and I might just randomly do that. Just sit down one night, just send it to YouTube, and just start putting them together.
So Colette, mine is half a sheet of paper, basically. My current one, the one that they're about to come out with, is a sheet of paper size. So
Yeah, it depends on the printer that you get.
great miniatures on the table. You're right, Winnie Warmutt. You have to paint them blue first.
You do.
Well, then they're not gray.
That's true. Then they're not great. Well, you know, I mean, do whatever you want with them. Paint them however you want. So Stargrave lets you basically get whatever figures you want to use too.
Yeah, you can use any. So,
well, that's cool. I mean, we'll have to check it out because it does get tiring playing the same thing over and over.
yeah. Well, I just like something that was open source. Like, I mean, here is one of the, if you can see it, here's one of the little robots for Stargrave. This is an actual Stargrave miniature. It's just one of the rogue robots. I mean, he's going to be kind of a disposable character, but I don't care. He looks cool.
Oh, well, it's like cool, Mel. You got your Hero Quest box set in, huh?
Oh, yes.
Nice.
I love Hero Quest.
Nice. And you've been playing with all the minis. That's
Played
pretty
that,
cool.
and oh my God, that's probably was I bet it was 90s when I played Hero Quest last.
Well, let's see here. And Colette said it looked. Whoops, I got the wrong one. Sorry, Mini Warmutt. He was laughing, but Colette said it looked amazing there, Clint. Your miniature that you put up. So yeah, some of them are pretty cool, and you know, you just never know what you're going to do or what you're going to get when you pick it up and what you're going to do with it there.
Okay, that's fair, Mini Warmutt. That's fair.
Leave the Warhammer stuff with Frost and Fist. Yeah, they do very well with the Warhammer stuff. They're way
They do,
more into it than we
but
are,
it's very much their thing, and that's totally understandable why they would.
We're the oddball
I just
ones,
can't
right?
stick with one. I'm sorry, I just can't pick one game and stick with it. There's just so many cool games out there that I want to at least try. That, you know, I just can't just stay with, oh, I'm just going to only play 40K or I'm only going to play Kill Team, and I can't do that, you know?
So Mel says she got the Mythic box set from the Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's cute.
The Kickstarter stuff usually is pretty cool. Usually you end up with more
Yeah,
than what you're going to get on the retail boxes, don't you?
I mean,
Most of the stuff, like,
look what we did with BattleTech.
yeah, the BattleTech stuff was, geez, that's a lot of stuff you got, Clint.
You know, the Monpok and the Red Dragon Inn is going to give us a lot with Kickstarter because there's going to be only unique characters that you get from Kickstarter in the Red Dragon Inn one. And I know you're going to like the Red Dragon Inn. You like the card game, Greg. This one's actually a dungeon crawl.
Yeah, it was interesting when we played that.
Wow.
Everybody
50
liked it.
So.
Holy cow. Well, that's some minis there then, Mel. Yeah. Quite a few of them. Yes, I agree with Mini Warmutt. You got to let your imagination run. Although sometimes I have to put a leash on mine so it doesn't get run over by reality crossing the street or something.
Yeah, like especially at work lately.
Yep. Yep, he reads it. What was that?
So good, yeah.
So yeah, Colette was asking Mel if that's the painting she was talking about. I believe so. That's a lot of miniatures.
That makes sense. 50 miniatures, yeah.
Yeah.
But that makes sense for that game, though. That, you know, if you wanted to not just be blasé characters, I totally understand that. That is a lot. But it is a fun game.
Let's do that, Mel. Let's set up where we just get people together and just sit and paint. We can do that because this will hold, I don't know, up to 10 people. So
that would be cool.
We could
I
just
do
sit
have stuff
there
to
and-
paint now, so
Yeah. And everybody be like, let's see what Greg's doing. And they turn the camera and there's the wall. No, we weren't talking about painting the wall, Greg. We were talking about painting the miniatures. Be like, yeah. Yeah, I think it would be fun too. So, yes. Let's do that. Mel, we'll collaborate on that. And then we won't charge Clint any admission fee. He can actually just be there. But,
sure.
How's that, Clint?
Gee, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let's say, what were you
gotta
saying
have
about
some-
it earlier at work too for me?
Yeah.
I didn't know Reaper did a wish list. That's good to know.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Well, yeah, and
I will have to
Mythos,
check that out.
Colette wants to know, why do you have to paint a blue
That was
first?
sarcasm, Carlette.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
just
blue was
sarcasm.
the first color I came up with.
Yep. Generally,
He was talking about everything, and you can't play with gray miniatures. I'm like, right, you got to make them blue first. Yeah,
you know what I do with the gray miniatures? I use a better gray primer and I spray them with it.
yeah, I
And
do that a lot
boom,
too.
It really pops them out.
It
primer
can,
really-
yeah. Well, that should be
Um,
easy to set up an account. That shouldn't be a problem.
It counts. Sure.
For Reaper to set up your wish list, they probably want to set up
okay,
an
yeah.
account first. That makes sense. I never really gave Reaper a lot of thought because I never really used a lot of their miniatures till Stargrave. I mean, I had a few for some of the fantasy stuff, but like my RPG group doesn't like using miniatures, so
Yeah,
we
it's
just don't.
cool though. It's cool though.
Oh, they do. They have
It
some
does have
awesome
cool
stuff.
stuff. Yeah,
In fact,
they really do.
got
They have
see.
good paints. Ashley's got a couple paint sets of those, and
in fact, I
she's
just
got tons
this
of those
from
miniatures.
Stargrave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is one of my crew members for Stargrave that I just got from Reaper. This thing's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have pretty neat stuff. They really
Yeah.
do. That they do for sure. I'll be
Yeah,
darned.
Brian wants to get some sexy Nazis for his Stargrave team when he tries to play. I'm like, well, do what you got to do. It works. But
Video
that seems
games.
to be Brian's shtick. So I like some video games. I enjoy SnowRunners. I enjoy Fallout
You were
4.
playing Cyberpunk. You like that?
Yeah, I played
adult
that to death,
content.
and just now I've no desire to play it at all. Yeah, I've been back to SnowRunners because there's been more updates. There's a whole new season pass and new maps and new vehicles,
New
and
things to do.
and
Yeah.
then I just end up using the 3 mod vehicles that I downloaded for everything anyway. So it's like, what's the point?
That's true. I mean, what is the point? The
Yeah.
point is to have fun, Clint. To try
Yeah,
to
the
have
thing is,
fun.
I can sit down for a few hours and just play, and it's not a big deal if I can't come back to it for a week or so. Like tomorrow morning after I take Evie to school, I will probably come back and spend 2 or 3 hours playing SnowRunners, and then, go do what I'm going to do. I think I still have to deliver some timbers, but I don't remember.
So
Yeah, that's a
you
good
have
point.
a good
Best.
point, Mythos. Yeah. Because you should. I mean, a main game is good, and I like Warhammer. Don't get me wrong. I just don't have enough
Yeah.
people to game with it. So.
Hey, Xanax, how's it going?
Well, hello, sir. I haven't seen you for a while. How are you? Yep.
And I
Yeah.
agree. Miniature.
David
Looking
did.
at some of my old BattleTech miniatures versus stuff now, yeah, I totally agree with you guys. They have definitely improved.
Yeah. The detail is nice. It's nice to see the detail on the miniatures way better than they ever used to be.
Yeah, boy,
That's
looking at the
for sure.
old. Well, you would know this, Greg. Looking at the old Warhammer stuff versus the new Warhammer stuff.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
That box that when Ashley was working at that job, they gave this. That's it. All those miniatures are here. Hell, they're like 29, 30 years old.
Life is pain. I got
So
the joke.
there-
Evie. I was trying
There's
not
quite
to.
a few of them,
Yes.
and so it's
Okay.
interesting to see the difference. There is difference in detail for sure.
Size too. Let them cut a little bigger.
Are you gonna
Yeah, they're not the same. They're slightly bigger, so I don't know what their version of it is. You're getting
I
away
don't know.
from
It didn't
mass.
change much, but yeah, mass priming. Yep, I remember those days.
Sometimes you have to do it.
That's why I need to get my airbrush station set up so I can just prime whenever I need to. That way I don't have to worry about waiting for weather and going outside and trying to get a rattle can to work. I just need to airbrush it. But I'm lazy.
I just like to get them primed so that then I can go paint them as I have time. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can sit down and knock 2 or 3 out or 5 or whatever. But if they're already all primed, and I'll prime them while they're on the sprue, man.
Yeah, you do
For
that.
me, that works good. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I don't always, but boy, some of those orc vehicles I have, you pretty much have to paint them on the sprue before you assemble, or you're just not going to get it.
And that kill team set you got,
Yeah.
We're going to put it up. Clinton has one, so he came by yesterday, and we'll throw up a video on that.
I'm going to pop some of that terrain off and start working on it here soon.
Yeah.
I want to build that old boiler tank and those wall sections that we looked at. I really want to get started on those. Because I can use them for Stargrave. We can use them when we play Kill Team. Whatever. I just want to get them. I have all my orc terrain in a box together. And I've been working on this pipe work for a while. Now I'm 3D printing stuff. But I mean, you've seen it, Greg, because we've used it. But I've got this piece of pipe, that's not even done yet. I want to get more done with this. I want to get more of this, but I've got that platform I 3D printed that I have to add the pipe work to still, and there's so much for it. We just need to get it done. Oh, come on, there we go. I mean, I enjoyed the terrain. I enjoyed building the terrain and painting the terrain and doing all that, but I want to be able to use it for more than just this or this. So
there you go, Clint.
Sometimes.
Yeah, Clint's
nice. I wish I had the Cursed City. That's cool.
Sleep?
Do I sleep? No, unfortunately I don't. I lay there and toss and turn and can't shut my mind off. So
yeah, that happens to me too. You can't sleep.
That is true, Mini Warmutt. That is true. Less talking, more worky. Which is ironic because I get all my RC stuff built and upgraded while I talk on the phone.
Yeah, I can't. I try to do that, but I can't for some reason.
You can't paint. You just cannot paint. But boy, I could tear the gear assemblies out of D's RC and completely re-grease everything and repack it and reset it. No problem there. But painting, nope. As soon as you dip the brush and paint, ring.
Yeah, I don't try to even paint in between calls. You can't. Melatonin and CBD.
I've not tried the CBD. I think I should. I think that might actually help.
It might help you. You never know.
The melatonin doesn't do anything for me, but I bet you the CBD. Well, getting a new bed helps now too. That helps a little more.
Yeah,
getting a different mattress and stuff.
Especially if you had one that was trashed, and then
yeah. I mean, that thing was so. It's ironically riding around in the back of the truck right now because I'm going to do a dump run tomorrow. So,
well, then it gets a free ride one more time.
Yeah, it does get a free ride to the dump that I still have to pay for.
Hey, the dump is a magical place to go to, man.
Yeah, sure. Well, actually, Evie thinks so, but she's a child, so.
Well, yeah, but it is kind of cool. It is interesting there.
I don't think I was ever enamored with the dump. Now, a salvage yard, a junkyard, oh yeah, hours crawling in and out of cars. I remember seeing cars in junkyards I wish I had now. Yeah, NyQuil has a new bad effect for me, so I do not do NyQuil anymore because I get tired of pooping water.
Well, that's more than we needed to know, Clint, but hey.
Yeah, but I figured I'd elaborate without getting too detailed. Yeah, for some reason, since I got sick, any of the nighttime cold medicines, bad after effects.
That's store.
True.
Yeah, so Taylor, I don't know. I mean, it depends. There are things in the state they sell. I mean, it all boils down to if they can make money off of it and get
Oh
taxes,
yeah,
then
sure.
they tend to change their minds. Mini Warmut says nasty, Clint. Too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
I could
you.
have gone into more detail.
No. We're good.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go any further, but yeah.
We don't. You're good. NyQuil. I don't know. NyQuil doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
I can drink coffee and go to bed, so it doesn't really matter. NyQuil doesn't. Doesn't faze me.
For a while, my wife was using the ZQuil, which is just the sleepy time stuff, and it worked great. And then all of a sudden, it didn't work at all.
Let's see here.
Oh.
Sarcasm. Yes. Call it. There's a lot of sarcasm in our show. Sometimes we just get sarcastic.
Let's say, yeah, we have sarcasm all the time, even at work, and they still don't get it sometimes. That's the best part.
The best part is our group chat at work. We can say things and they have zero clues what we're talking about. It's like
the ongoing thing with the horses. Just, I mean, that was brilliant to even start that, Greg. That really was.
Which one? Oh, the horse. Yeah. Well, we can't.
Tran and the horses. Yeah.
We can't discuss that here, though, Clint. Really.
Yeah, that's not work. That's not. Yeah, but still, it's pretty funny.
You get immunity to stuff after saturation.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just years. That's why I stopped taking like Tylenol and stuff, because it just seems like I'm used to it now. It doesn't work.
Do you know that works too? This theory works with the hobby. After a while, first you play $30. Like, my God, I just spent $30 for 5 figures. Then pretty soon it's $49.99. Then it's $70. Then it's $90. Then it's $140. Then it's $200, and pretty soon you're saturated in your mind. You're like, oh, it's only $200, but I'll just get it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a lot in that box. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
The only thing that doesn't become immune is your wallet. It's like, what are you doing? You're like, it's okay. Stop.
Yeah.
We got it. Yeah. You're right there, Taylor. That's probably Mini Warmut. You have to ask him if he's eating chili dogs. Maybe he's getting immune to the saturation effects of chili dogs.
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Very hard to say. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. Saturation effect applies to lots.
I just got the last part of Colette's comment. She's like, "Wait, a better gray? Yes, it's called Krylon gray."
Yes, there is a better gray. Yes, the Krylon paint is really well on the plastics, and if you do it just lightly,
it does actually.
Especially on Game Workshop stuff, it just makes the detail pull forward. And it's a lot easier. At least
it does seem like it really does seem like to make a lot of the details pop. Like on this little building here with all the bricks, it'll make that stand out. Boy, then it's just do a quick wash down the middle of it, and then just paint the bricks. But I'm pretty impressed with its coverage, and and it holds up real well. I mean, and unless it's a really, really flexible, like rubber surface or something, that don't come off.
Yeah, it bonds very well. It works very good. So I'm happy with the stuff. I use it. All my stuff came out really well. I have no complaints.
Plus, it's like $2 or $3 at Walmart. So
it's not expensive, really, but the effect it has, it's worth it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really, if you think of it, it was initially automotive paint. So it is meant for a lot of multiple surfaces, including plastics and resins and whatnot. So sure, why not? I mean, it would make sense to use it, especially if it is affordable.
Affordable in the hobby?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well, it's not technically part of the hobby. That's why it's affordable.
Well, no, it is. I mean, I would just rather use it. Just my preference works for me. It worked on the stuff.
Yeah, I just grab it and go. But I mean, the airbrush stuff I got, the Vallejo airbrush, it was really only $6 for a giant bottle too. And it, from what I can tell, the few times I did use it, it does just as well. You can just airbrush with it. I just don't have an area set up yet. So I need to do that, because there's a lot I can do with the airbrush I'm just not doing.
Well, yeah, I'll probably never bother with the airbrush. I just am not doing enough of them to
Yeah,
worry
you're
about.
not paying enough to really
I
warrant
mean,
it.
it's set up. All my stuff's literally painted except for some tanks I got to put together still from the Team Yankee starter box because I already had the full army. But there's a few in there I could do, but I don't have enough miniatures left to really warrant that. Ashley
Yeah.
painted almost all of it anyways, all the terrain and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
So
there's not really much left for me to paint. Actually, there's just a couple of them that need decals that I got to finish up, and I just keep forgetting because
yeah,
4 or 5. But you have the larger items like Taylor's talking about here. So when you do
Yeah.
all that orc,
yeah, all the
terrain
orc
that come in the
vehicles
box,
and stuff like that.
yep, that's where you're going to need it.
The terrain
Yeah,
is the biggest thing I had the airbrush for was the terrain. Because it's so much of the terrain is just a base color and then it's just washes and some highlights. And I'm going to try some of the rusting powder on some of the terrain just to kind of see how that works. I haven't really ever used the rust powders, but I think I'm going to give it a shot on those pipes and stuff. I'm just kind of curious to see how it does,
Well, look at the effects some of the people have used it with.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they might use 4 or 5 different colors, but the rust effect, that newer paint, a couple of different companies are making it, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, it might be good for a lot of stuff. And
I think so. At the very least, it'll add a little extra detail,
Yeah, it will. Well, you can't go wrong with that. And so, Mythos, you're right. The airbrush is an awesome tool. Everybody says so. I just don't have a use for one. Clint does.
Yeah.
The airbrush is something that takes a lot of time.
That reminds me. So, I bought that little battery rechargeable air blower to use on my RCs. It's basically for like cleaning keyboards on computers and stuff, but it can push higher air. Some of that terrain I wanted to do blowing sand on. So I think I'm going to set up like a little box and go ahead and basically cover the base in sand and then just use that blowgun on a lighter setting and see about blowing sand across and get like that natural drifting effect in certain areas. Because I just can't seem to mimic it if I try to do it on my own. But I think if I can simulate it in a controlled area, I think at least if I can get a base coat with it and then highlight it, it's going to look really good.
Don't try so hard with it. Just,
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the simpler is better.
Taylor says that he uses
automotive
primer. Yeah. And so, I mean, why not? I mean, you can paint them whatever you want. You don't have to use, quote, official paints for anything. I mean,
oh, that's funny, Mini Warmont. I didn't think about that. That's true.
Clean out your keyboard. Mini Warmont,
I need a little more air pressure than that for the RCs, but that is funny.
Don't eat the crumbs you find in the keyboard. It's not healthy.
Yeah, for sure. They are
Sometimes
not as healthy.
It causes you to see things too. So, yeah. My mistake, personal experience. I was hungry one day and I was like, ooh, shake the keyboard. Like, look at all this cool stuff, like snack. Didn't work out so well. I'm just saying.
Yeah, funny how that is.
Wouldn't do it. But yeah, if it dusts your keyboard off, that'll work too. No?
Yeah. Yeah, generally because a lot of the RC stuff get washed. I take a garden hose to them and try not to hit the electronics. Having a higher end blowgun works great for getting the pooling water off of like the screw recessed areas and make sure you don't have anything on the electronics that shouldn't have it. So candy nerds out of the keyboard. I don't have that problem, but that's funny.
Yeah, that's good, Mini Warmut.
So apparently Mini Warmut needs nerds.
That's why it comes to the show. That's what me and you are. Nerds.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, true.
We're just nerds. Taylor, we need to get you help. You're not supposed to be huffing glue. I mean, we can't condone that on this show, but
sure.
If it helps you, I guess, it's up to you.
I just don't like spending the money for canned air. That's some expensive stuff, and it doesn't work for it because it freezes up real quick and it's gone real fast. Basically, it's just butane. So,
well, Air your pain, air. Pain for air.
That's funny.
Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. Well,
Pretty good
speaking
mini
of air,
warm-up.
mhm. Yeah, I don't know, man. We have some interesting conversations here for sure.
Yes, we do. We kind of kept this one actually on gaming and gaming related items, surprisingly.
That's usually what we do. You're the one that deviates all over the place, man.
No, I don't. Brian does.
Oh, Brian does. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm not on that much to deviate anymore. Okay, well, I deviate in real
You're in
life,
World
but,
War
that's
II.
all.
Yeah.
But yeah.
For sure.
Although I
Well-
do need to sit down with Brian and have like a movie conversation. That would be cool.
Taylor. Glue is gaming.
With
related.
gaming
Yeah.
related. Well, it's
Yeah,
very
it is.
true.
I like that. You have to. It helps you, I guess. It's kind of
It
like,
holds it all together.
yeah.
Because-
Ah,
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
very
Anyway,
good. I like that. Was
I
funny.
tried.
That was funny. That's all you can do is try. I mean, that's the only way we get stars rewarded to us, right? Is we try.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
gotta try. Oh man. Well, we have now progressed on to sniffing glue. So maybe
Well-
we can talk. Maybe we could do a show on what's your favorite,
We
paint dish water. What color tastes the best? Blue doesn't taste like
Actually-
blueberries. I'm telling you.
at some point we should do a show on tools and paints.
Painting tools.
No, not painting tools. Just tools and paint in general. Blue. Yes, paint them blue.
Yes.
Yep. I
Blue.
should have seen that coming.
I'm with you.
That was
anyway.
good.
That works. That works.
Oh, I should have
Blue,
seen that one
blueberry.
coming.
Blueberry. Yep. I don't know. I mean, the crayons. The same problem I had with those is I
You're
looked
the
at
only
them
one
as
that
they
still
do
uses
not-
crayons, Greg.
I know, but dude, the yellow one doesn't taste like banana. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
it is, Colette.
not.
It pretty much is.
ZQL. See,
Yeah.
this is the
it's
gamers
sleepy
with coffee
agent in
medical
NyQuil
show.
without the NyQuil part.
Clint, possibly, we don't want to be labeled for wrong advice. What do? Sniff glue, drink NyQuil, Dayquil, drink paint water.
Yeah, so like everybody else. So what? What's your point?
Yeah, that's why we drink coffee to
I mean,
offset the
we eat
effects
hot
of everything
dogs.
else.
You know, we breathe the air outside.
Yeah,
So
I like call it, which is Benadryl or whatever. What's illegal in
well,
Canada?
that wouldn't surprise me
Benadryl?
that would be illegal in Canada. That would
Well,
not surprise me at
no,
all.
It doesn't surprise me at all. It's Canada. What can I say? Everything there seems to be illegal. Yeah, I don't know. Benadryl here is just cheap. You go to the main
Yeah,
stores and
and
get just
it's
straight up
not-
antihistamine, and you're good.
and it's not much more effective, to be honest.
Mhm.
That's good, mini warm-up.
Yes, I mean, a better gray. Yeah.
That was
So,
good.
Yeah. So there's your.
That was
There's your,
good.
wait a minute, Clint. What if you have 49 colors that are all grays and you buy one more? Would that be 50 shades of gray?
Well, if they're all shades.
But what if that's true. But it'd be different hues. We could do that, 50 hues of gray.
Yeah, I
Getting
don't
a-
understand the laws there, Taylor. I think it's whatever's
Yeah.
popular is what's allowed, to be honest.
Canada. Yeah, I can't put that up on the screen, but I
Yeah.
get you, Taylor. Yep. I get you.
Yep.
What are you commenting on there, Colette? I didn't see that. Down the middle of it. What does that mean? I don't know. Wash down the middle of it? I don't know. But, hey, we advanced the drinking paint water. So I don't know. There's a thing on On
You're the only one that really drinks the paint water. I stopped doing that a long time ago because it wasn't coffee. Now, I still do
Sometimes.
occasionally dip my paintbrush into my coffee cup.
sometimes it looks like coffee though.
And you know
Sometimes.
what? Some coffees clean paint out of paintbrush is pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. That is for sure.
Actually, so does Coca-Cola, to be honest. But it
Yeah, you
also
drink
corrodes
Coke,
the
you should-
paintbrush.
Yeah, you should go pour that on your battery, and it'll eat the acid off the
Yeah.
battery. Yeah,
I
would
kind of stay away from Coke, at least ingesting it. Boy, it does make a good cleaner.
Have you
Yeah,
ruin some coffee?
I think you're not a true gamer unless you either stabbed yourself with an X-Acto knife or drank your paint water or put your brush in your coffee cup or something like that. Otherwise, you can't say you're a true hobbyist.
I've watched people sitting there on their shows, they're sitting there painting, and then they take the paintbrush and they're like,
Yep.
oh crap, what the did I do?
Yep.
It's like too late at that point. You just ate paint. So,
Yep. I've done that. That's why I use water-based paints.
Water-based. Yeah, don't use the other ones, man. At least the water-based.
Oh,
is not
no.
as harmful.
You accidentally do that with some Testors enamel, ooh, you know it.
Yes, Mini Warmut.
I hate to say it, Mini Worm. It doesn't matter where the cup is. It's a round cylindrical object with liquid in it. It doesn't matter where you've moved it to. Something's getting dipped in it.
Mythos. He's almost a true. You're a true gamer, sir.
Yeah, you're not trying hard enough. Just toss the X-Acto knife up and see if you can catch it with your foot.
And this one, he's correct, man. That blue shaded paint for the Space Ranger on the tall bottle to wash.
Yeah.
I just bumped it. That thing spilled. That stuff ran. I lost
Yeah.
the whole bottle just like that. I've spilt it. Yeah. Yeah.
I've
That's
only
not something
ever
you wanna
spilled
do.
one wash. Only ever. Of course, it was an ink wash, but
Oh,
yeah.
God. Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be balanced and easy to use. Supposed to being the key word here. You're right. They look kind of dumb.
Oops. Why did it show that one? That's not what. Oh. You mean the water pots? Well, but they work. I mean,
Yeah, they do.
work.
I mean, I like mine. I like that the fact the GW ones have the ribbing inside and the little
Yeah, 'cause
slot that you can, like the detail
Put the
brushes, you can
paintbrush
kind
in.
of spin them. And I like that. I mean, that actually is a good idea. Was it worth $12 or $15? I don't know, but it was a good idea.
But if you're painting a lot and you're just
Yeah, if you're doing a lot, it's not bad.
and you're only spending $15, like why would you be complaining at that point?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very true, Mini Warmut. I try to be very cautious with those
Yeah,
contrasts.
it is. It's about $8 here where we get it, and I spilt the whole damn bottle. All I did is I went to put the brush on, I tipped it, and it's narrow because it's tall, and boom, that was it. I mean, that was it. It ran everywhere.
Yep.
So yeah, and it does cost
I mean,
you.
I do like their contrast paints. I use it on my BattleTech miniatures because they work great. I'm not
Yeah,
needing to do a ton of specific details, so it covers really fast. I mean, I painted a whole Inner Sphere Lance with the one contrast paint. So
Mini Warmut, I suggested Clint to use a straw. Poor guy stuck it in his nose. I'm like, what are you doing?
shut.
So we can't go back
That's
down that road. It's bad.
You're the one that went down that road. I kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, because the straw was in your nose. I mean, wait, yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
why. But I don't know about sucking it back up and putting it in a bottle. I just cleaned it up, went and bought another bottle. I
Yeah,
was mad at myself because
just bite the
it was
bullet
just
and buy
dumb.
another
I
one.
just missed it with the brush, and boom, I hit the bottle and knocked it over. So, yep. It is expensive paint too to have it all bleed out. Very much.
Yeah.
So.
But luckily, I don't use a ton of it anymore. But I have found it useful in things for sure.
Well, I don't mind the lead content, Taylor. I mean,
That's just part of life.
that's the least of the worries I worry about what we ingest.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's kind of funny when you think lead is not that big of a deal.
Well, I mean, lead paint used to be the cool thing,
Yeah.
But that was a big thing for a long time.
Yeah, it was pretty bad when kids ate it. Yet I never actually ate paint chips when I was a kid because I wasn't.
I'm kind of curious. I just don't see kids sitting around eating paint all the time.
Yep.
I mean, it's possible
Like-
somebody did, but
Just yeah, but
Yeah.
why? Most kids I knew, they were like, "Why would you eat paint? That's dumb."
yeah. Leaded gasoline, yeah.
Well, so do I. I still miss leaded gasoline, but for other reasons. No,
I don't know,
correlate.
man.
When you have 60s era engines that need leaded gasoline, the new synthetic stuff doesn't quite cut it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can change things over, but it's still not the same.
It's not the same. It's not tools when you purchase.
Yeah, that made a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
That made a lot of people mad. So you bought a bunch of BBs, and then yeah,
And you know what, Clint? All I did was go down to the sporting goods section and bought a tube of BBs for $2.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I used to
500 BBs, and you just like for a BB gun, and you just use them. Copper
use a
BBs,
couple of
stick
those,
it
yeah.
up, stainless steel, yeah.
That's funny.
All right, pudding cups.
Yeah,
Sure,
no,
Mythos.
no,
Chilled. He likes it chilled with a little sugar. Yeah, I don't blame you. It probably tastes better with a little sugar that way. You know, that or Clint's mom.
full of
makes-
sugar helps the paint water go down.
It's better than the medicine, right? I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Anymore, but he knows you ate paint chips as a kid, Mythos. He says, "Hey, but that's okay, you know. That just means you can live longer next to a cell phone tower because it can
Yeah,
go
for
through that
sure.
lead paint. Yeah, that just helps you out, especially if you know it depends on the neighborhood you're in. Why not? I don't
Yeah.
know.
God knows the Romans used to put it in their water system. So
The who did?
the Romans,
Oh yeah, but the Romans also used to add wine to their water because the water tasted like crap in that area.
I
So
mean,
you wonder
it
why
tasted
everybody was all
like lead.
mellow all the
Yeah,
time.
huh.
Why not?
Yeah, you know,
What's
a
the
lot
drinking?
of cultures added alcohol to replace certain things. So
Well, yeah, that they had to for sure.
that's true, Taylor. It kind of was. I think we put mercury over a tank once, a little toy tank.
6 years ago, and you're so at 6 years, if you calculate the money that you will spend exponentially on Warhammer, you're probably over $1,000 into it, aren't you? At least.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
You still use crayons? Yeah, so do I, Colette. But Clint has told me to stop eating them. For the
Yeah.
wax buildup is not good, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes you just need something to snack on. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Why buy
there you
food?
go. Mercury fillings in your teeth. The number one toxic.
I know,
thing
yeah,
in the
right,
scientific
exactly.
Community. What were these idiots doing? What's put in your teeth?
I was a kid when they were doing it, and I went to a different dentist, and he freaked out and had to replace all of it. I'm like, and my parents are like, "What are you doing?" But yeah,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Look at
Yeah,
how dangerous it is and how much they've found that,
Yeah.
that, you know, you heard the term Mad Hatter, right? So
yeah,
back in the 1800s or before they're making the hats, to stiffen them up, they dipped them in mercury solution, you know, and that's why people were crazy as a Mad Hatter, because after doing this, they would go nuts after making so many hats.
Well-
you know, so it's bad for you.
You ever heard of the Radium Girls, Greg?
I'm sorry, the what?
The Radium Girls?
Radium girls. No.
Radium Girls. So back in the 50s, they wanted glow in the dark clock dials. So these women would paint these glow in the dark clock dials. They hand painted it with brushes. Well, they were using radium. That's
Ugh.
what the paint was radium. Well, these girls would hand paint these on these clocks, these numbers. They'd lick the paintbrush to, level it out and everything. I mean, it was radium. So of course they all got sick and died. But yeah, I mean, it was a real thing.
Mythos.
If you guys ever want, look up the radium because that's what it was. They knew, all the managers and the businesses knew this was poisonous, but just let their workers sit here and hand paint these clocks
Well,
with
they don't
radiation.
care. If you do what they
Yep.
want, if you die, they just replace you. They don't care. That's why there's
Yep.
all this bad stuff and everything.
It
because
was a
they
bad
know.
time to be a brush licker.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Mythos says he pays tribute to his people. Yep. Yep. That's pretty good, Mythos. That's for sure. I mean, really, you know, wouldn't be good, would it, to be a brush licker at that point? My God, that
No.
would not be fun. Nope,
There,
nope,
there
nope,
were
nope, nope.
so many bad things that happened back then that just people didn't even realize.
Well, and the ones selling it knew about it. They knew. It's
Oh,
like
yeah, of
mercury in
course.
your teeth. They knew damn well not to put that into people's mouths because of all the problems. But it was cheap, so they did it anyways.
Yep.
You know, they knew though.
Profit.
They for sure knew. Yeah. Money? Are you telling me the world operates on money, Clint? Does the hobby
Yeah,
industry
pretty much.
operate on money? I bet it
Well,
does.
yeah, it does.
True. True. Oh boy, I don't know.
Oh, that's good, Mini Warmut. That's good.
Yeah, the airbrushes will knock it down. On Channel 7 News live tonight, the airbrushes
That's
are blowing
good.
down this statue. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're licking radiation. Yeah, I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, I bet they maybe because they thought they were painting Fallout figures. So
Yeah, there we go. They were painting Fallout, actual Fallout.
actual Fallout. Well, that's the thing. I mean, what the
You
hell?
know, it's bad. They got paid like 10 cents an hour or something like that. I mean, they were doing it for pennies, literally. That's
Yeah.
what's even worse.
The gaming industrial complex. That is
Yeah.
that is for sure, man. They have their own lobbyists and
Uh-oh.
stuff.
I'm about to lose battery.
Oh, and there went Clint. Clint. There went Clint. He's done. He fell off. Well, we've been at it anyways, an hour and a half. So we've covered everything from, everything right up to licking paintbrushes and mercury fillings. And so, it's always an interesting, my God. Yep. Got to be interesting. So, wow. Well, I'm glad you guys all showed up, man. I appreciate you guys showing up. It is a little bit hard to do the show all by myself sometimes, so I appreciate it, and very much so, you guys. Very much so. And I think we got everybody's comments for the most part, too, yeah. Taylor. Yeah, Taylor. Some of the things you put in the chat are funny, but I don't know. Yeah. Well, I will, sir, try to have an awesome week. You too, all right? I'm going to let you guys go, and I've got to see what I can do for dinner or something around here. It's just me tonight, so, it's kind of hard to figure that out, and, But I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for showing up. I greatly appreciate it. It's always fun. I really enjoy all the people that I've met, and you guys have a good day, okay? Hang in there, have fun, and thank you guys.